My name is Joe Summa, and I'm a part of the group that is meeting with the Archdiocese on March 10th. My background is I'm a 67 graduate of Sacred Heart, was the point guard on the great 1967 state championship basketball team. And while I've always been proud to be part of the Sacred Heart family, my involvement with the school has varied over the years. I was very involved with the purchasing the basketball court for the Armory 2000 project, and then in the building of the alumni hall around that court. In the late 90s and early 2000s, I was a member of the Sacred Heart Board of Directors. But for most of the last decade, I've had very limited involvement, except maybe with the basketball team a bit. But about a month ago, I realized that the 100th anniversary of Sacred Heart was coming up. And I made a mental note. I actually made a to-do item to contact the school and offer to help out with whatever type of celebration, which I envisioned would be the celebration of all Sacred Heart celebrations. But before I actually got the opportunity to do that, the word started leaking out that Sacred Heart was closing. Like many of you, I was surprised and saddened. And like many of you, I stood down and allowed the administration to have the meetings that were scheduled with the Archdiocese to see what would develop. On February 18th, when the letter came out and said that it was final and Sacred Heart is closing, I was shocked and saddened. I understand the problems, financial, low enrollment, the loss of feeder schools, the changing demographics. And you put on top of that a once-in-a-century pandemic with parents out of work or on reduced hours, the school not able to have large fundraisers like we've had in the past, parents deciding that it wasn't worth paying tuition if their children were going to be home looking at computer screens anyways. In so many ways, it was the worst of times. But what does a family do in difficult times? You don't give up. You don't pick up your ball and go home. You band together, you hunker down, you recommit, you sacrifice, and you do whatever you have to do to protect the children. We talk about the Sacred Heart family, but what is it that makes us a family? We don't have the same parentage. Many of us are not even from the same nationalities. You walk around halls of Sacred Heart even today, and it looks like a convention of the United Nations. But what makes us a family is the common beliefs and values that were instilled in all of us during our time at Sacred Heart. Our belief in a loving God, in dreaming great dreams, in the value of learning how to learn, in working hard, in having goals, in striving for excellence, in caring for your family and community, and above all else, in preserving and enhancing these values, beliefs, and opportunities for our children. This is a bond that brings us together. We have a plan that we're going to present, and the first part of the plan is to find a way to keep the school open for the next 2 years. If necessary, to raise $1 million for each of those years that could provide vouchers or scholarships that hopefully can help with the enrollment problem. The second part of the plan is during those 2 years to see if we can develop a long-term plan that's sustainable for Sacred Heart, for Catholic education. That may involve gear funds, it may involve school choice foundations, it may involve vouchers or stipends, it may involve an endowment fund. It may involve seeking legislation or bringing lawsuits to challenge restrictions on contributions to Catholic schools. At this point, we don't know the answers, but I do have confidence that given the time, we can find them. We've been told that this is a done deal and that it's an uphill battle, and that may well be, but we believe it is a battle well worth waging. We cannot go to the Archdiocese with hat in hand, with vague plans, and without a firm commitment. That's a recipe for failure. If we are going to take this step, we need to go into that meeting with overwhelming evidence of the strength and commitment of this community to make this happen. What we are asking all of you is in the comments below this post to make a pledge. As soon as I post this, I'm going to make a comment with my pledge, which will be that if Sacred Heart stays open for the next year, I will pledge X dollars a month for the next 2 years. And X for any of us can be $20 or $40 or $50 or $100 or $200, whatever it is that we can afford. If just half of the members in this Facebook group pledge $75 a month for 2 years, that would generate over $1 million a year for each of those years. Second, we're going to ask all of you to call your friends and classmates and explain to them the critical situation and how important it is for them to reach out and help also. If any of us are in a position to write a pledge for $10,000 or $20,000, again, all contingent on the school staying open, then do it. If you're part of an organization or a corporation that provides matching funds, then put that in the comments and make that pledge. Time is of the essence. Next week is too late. We need to start this now. We need to do this now. It's time to walk the walk. Every additional dollar that people contribute, every additional pledge that someone makes enhances the probability of our success. This is our last opportunity to preserve for these kids today, and maybe those kids 10 or 20 years from now, the same opportunity for a quality education that we had. Please, I ask you, I beg you, make a pledge. Let's make this happen. And God bless. Thank you.